Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. So my buddy Chad said, hey, I got a Fed racket. Can you customize it for me like the real Roger racket? I'm like, sure, send it over. Well, he sent it over. It's right here in front of me in a 4 1/4 grip. Called up my man Dan because he is now the expert on my Bayardo Pro. So we're going to actually utilize that today in customizing Chad's RF to the real Roger racket. Dan, thank you for joining me today. I'm going to hand you that racket. Here's what Chad did, though. Very organized person. He sent me string-a-lings. I call them string-a-lings. He sent me stencil ink, overgrip, lead, already kind of cut. So this is 1/4 inch lead, just like this though. I don't know, where's the other half, Chad? I provided the string and the leather strap.
Careful, careful.
We don't want to whip anybody today. All right. And of course, the Wilson stencil at the end. Now, so here's the thing about doing this. Dan, as we know, we got Fed's racket already strung, ready to go. We can't cut the strings off of that. It would make it so much easier to do this without the strings. Because with the strings in there, we have to kind of deconstruct it. You know, we have to guess at how much lead there is. Not all rackets come to us the same way, meaning stock, weight, and balance. Therefore, it makes it a little difficult for us to customize when the strings are in there. But we have a good idea from the one I did like 1.5 to 2 years ago as to where we need to add the lead. So the first thing I think I want to do is take measurements of what we got here to see how close we are to stock, weight, balance, and swing weight on the blank, as I call it here. What we need to get to, though, is 365 on the total weight, strung, overgrip, stenciled, everything. 31.8 on the balance, and 342 on the swing weight, because that's what Fed's is. And that's ready to go at the end, though. We're going to actually start customizing it first.
Okay, so what we're trying to recreate, because we've done this before on a similar racket, is we believe that 4.5 grams of lead tape is going to get us very close to that swing weight. We can fine tune it, but since we're putting this under the head guard and then stringing it, it's very difficult to add or subtract this amount of tape. We can put some small pieces in later if we need to, or take some out. So we know from the packaging that this is 1/4 gram per inch. If I want 9 grams, 4.5 grams of weight, then I need 2 9-inch strips. So this is giving me 2 1/4 grams and 2 1/4 grams. It's going to give me right about 4.5 grams of weight. And on the scale, this unfortunately doesn't give me 1/10. So we know this is 4.5, give or take. It's showing 4. So we're going to go with this amount of lead tape under the head guard.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to go take the head guard off.
There goes the head guard.
Remember how I taught you how to take the head guard off? You use the back of the awl and you pry it open a little bit so you can get your thing in there to start prying. And then it should come right off. Okay.
So I mark this in the middle right here.
Okay. Got it.
That's your middle point.
Got it. So I'm going to just lay it before I start it, just to
Get it straight.
So that's the middle point. Going around. And it's going to be right there. Okay. So it's pretty much exactly where, when I eyeballed it, the starting point was, from what the Fed one is. I know Dan's a little more precise with his measurements.
No. So when we use the Biarda Tune Pro, what's interesting is when you take a fully strung racket, a racket that's ready to go, and you want to replicate a swing weight and a weight, it actually tells you on the Biarda Tune Pro where to put the weight on the racket and how much weight to add. So that's where we got this initial 4.5 grams at the top, was taking a racket that was already strung, ready to go. And that's the cool thing about that machine. It might be at the top, it might be in the middle, it might be closer to the bottom. On the Biarda, which is interesting, there's 3 measurements. There's swing weight, there's weight, and there's balance. You can only plug in 2 out of the 3, of course, to fine-tune a racket. And so we plugged in swing weight and weight and didn't worry as much about balance, but you can do it a couple different ways from the machine, and it'll tell you where to put the weight to achieve those characteristics you're looking for. So that's the neat thing about that machine. I'm not sure how you would do that, other than assuming it's going to go at the top if you're trying to create a swing weight. So if you have a swing weight machine and you can just add and subtract weight on the frame and get to a swing weight you want, that's probably going to feel just as good when you play with it. Mm-hmm. But should it be at the top? Should it be at 3 at 9? That's somehow that machine is able to figure that out. I think that's kind of the cool thing about that machine.
Yeah, in the past, when I had to customize rackets, it was a lot of testing, trial and error.
Yeah,
I would have to take off, put on, take off, put on, and then like for the Fed racket, I pretty much in a wing and a prayer, for hours before.
Because he's doing it underneath the head guard, so you string it, you put the weight under there and then string it. You're pretty committed at that point. It's pretty hard to add and subtract unless you're unstringing it and taking the head guard off. I was just putting it, under the hoop, so I could add or subtract pretty easily. And it still took me a couple tries, even with the Tune Pro machine, to get the weight, to get exactly to that 342 swing weight. It took me a couple tries.
Yeah, no, the Fed one actually wasn't too bad for me when I did it the first time. I probably had to restring it one extra time, and then I figured it out just because it was kind of straightforward. Like some of the other ones aren't as straightforward.
And of course, it only takes you a third of the time to string a racket as it takes me, so I kind of don't want to be restringing a racket.
Okay, so that's what it's going to look like, Dan.
Sweet. Let me check your work here. Okay. Does that look centered? Yep. It's good and even. Let's make sure. Yep. It's a center point. Wait a minute. That's a funny mark right there. That's not the center, but they show you here.
Yeah.
All right. Let's make sure that's on there good and tight. Okay. Quality approval. Get the head guard back on there, and we're going to rock and roll to the stringing machine.
Yeah. So since this guard was on before, it should just basically snap right back on.
Yeah, once you string it, it mushrooms out those grommets, and it's very difficult to put it back. If you've strung one, but
I think you can do it once. You could do it once.
A new guard will go back in.
Yeah,
a lot of trouble.
And
it's very helpful to have that pointy tool to coax it in there. Otherwise, it's pretty hard to push that in.
But this is going to be way easier than a brand new guard because this has already been stretched.
Yeah, it's right there. Scuff the bottom.
Good eyes there, Dan.
Well, you want your Fed to be perfect out of the box. You don't want to.
Okay, it's ready.
Okay.
So I need this, and I need the strings. The strings.
You want me to cut you a couple of these?
Sure, that would be great.
Okay.
Thank you, my sous chef.
All right. I'll be the sushi chef.
So we're going to go from one Bayardo to the next. Going to the Bayardo Pro, to the Bayardo stringing machine. Remember what I taught you. Tight, 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 tight. All right, so let's get stringing on this. There's the non-smooth side. See, that side is smooth. This side is the naked side, as I call it. I like to put the naked side along the thing. And I like to do it this way.
What does Fed do?
I don't know. What does Fed Stringer do is a better question. What is my man you?
Can't tell.
I forget his first name.
I think this is the shiny side is outward.
Right there. You think shiny's out?
I think shiny's out on this.
That's what I'm doing, shiny out.
Shiny out. Okay.
So that's it.
Shiny out.
Am I 50? Nope, I'm not 50. I like to be a little more 50. That's about 50. Okay, I like to be in the center there. Tension there. Move that there. Go around there. First one pulled. All right. Yeah. All right, piece number 2. So I'd like to get these out of the way first because you never know when you might forget it. So, because sometimes, you know, you get caught up in doing these things fast, and then suddenly you got one power pad on, and that's all you got.
I've done that.
Ah, freaking A. I
I've
got to
done
start over again.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That song. Who sung that song?
2 out of 3 ain't bad? I
Yeah.
don't know.
Like Neil Sedaka or somebody like that. Okay. Sorry, I'm very particular about how I do these things and how I do things in general. It's kind of... That's what I want right there. Okay, so I hold it there, I run the tension through. All right, so I'm going to finish this off and we'll reconvene when I'm done. Just finished stringing a racket. The next step is the string-a-lings. So we're going to go over to Fed's racket here. I'm going to look at the alignment of his racket. It's aligned like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 and 4 is the first one we go, which is right there. Okay? We're going to start just like that. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right here. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So just like that. He goes 4 across. 4 down, 4 across. Every other one for about 5 of them.
5. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And then he skips 1, goes down here, and starts here. Right. And he goes another 5. Right. So 5 and 5 right there. Okay? There we go. Now we're going to stencil it. Okay? And I'm going to go with the M again. So it's going to be like that. And then I'm going to put the W just like that. Okay? Perfect. All right, so 5.5 down, right about there. Is that straight?
Not quite.
Not quite. Maybe between our two eyes total,
there you go.
We can get it.
So I'm aligning it here.
Hang on. We got to check out the grommets. Check out the grommets. We got to scoot it over a bit. There, that's better. See the grommets?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So we need 3 hands to do it.
And it splatters.
Yes. So don't press down or else the whole thing drains out.
It makes a mess.
Yes. Just
nice and easy.
Nice and easy.
Let the paint do the work.
Exactly.
Piece right there.
Oh.
Piece up here. Nice.
Whew, getting high.
Yeah, dude. That's some gnarly stuff.
Getting high. Ooh, look at that.
Yeah. There you go.
So we turn this over and we turn this over.
It's a turnover.
Exactly. Basketball and tennis. Okay, perfect, perfect. Again, start in the middle, nice and easy. It pretty much drained into this side already anyway, so all you're doing is kind of touching it up.
And this is a special paint just for this purpose. It doesn't get a lot of paint on the tennis ball at the beginning, maybe a little bit. But if you try to do this with like a spray can or something, it comes off.
That stuff comes crackling
it just
off.
Comes off, yeah. Nice. I wonder how much that weighs.
Oh,
1/10 of a gram.
We should
maybe?
probably weigh it.
We can weigh. We can
1/100th.
Let's weigh 1/10 of a gram of paint and see what we get.
That should do it.
Now, if by any reason you happen to get a little bit of splatter on the racket, what I do is I just take a little bit of alcohol or a little bit of acetone, and it'll take that right off. You can't actually see it on this racket, so it doesn't matter. But if you do happen to have like a white racket and you splatter that stuff, because it just does splatter.
Okay.
A little light acetone, rub it right off. It won't hurt the paint.
That's good to know.
Nice.
I actually have never done that.
Yeah, I've noticed the splatter before.
I've never screwed up before.
Well, that you noticed or admitted to.
That anybody out there might have noticed.
That's looking good.
Do you remember that song, "The Moment of Truth"?
Oh, we can look it up.
No, you don't remember that song?
Well,
It's by Survivor.
Moment of Truth. Let's see if I can find it.
It's I feel like it was in a song with Sylvester Stallone. A movie with Sylvester Stallone.
Like Rocky?
Like, yeah, maybe. It was either Rocky or the movie about arm wrestling. Over the Top. That's what it was.
Is it this song?
I think it's Survivor. It's the moment of truth. It's who you are. That one. Do you remember that one?
I remember that one.
It's very 80s-esque. All right. It's the moment of truth.
You know, there's only one thing missing now, Harry. We got to go.
Signature?
You know, I saw Fed in the back. I think he was trying on some shoes. We can go get him. We can
Let's
get him.
go get Fed. Let's go get Fed. Let's see how. Let's see. Hey, Roger.
Roger, you back there? Can you do an autograph real quick?
Roger.
Okay, hold on.
We'll be right back. Okay, we'll be right back. Roger likes to take his sweet time signing it because it has to look perfect. Hold on a second. All right.
Thanks, Raj. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks for making an appearance, Roger.
Thanks, man.
We appreciate you, buddy. Since you're retired and got nothing else better to do. Oh, Raj. Not your best work.
He drank a lot of coffee today. He was a little shaky, but he was in a hurry.
Not your best work. Okay, so let's see if we got Roger's specs now.
So 365.32. We're going to retest that just to
Ooh.
double check it.
Ooh.
It's right in there. Okay, now here's the big number right here. This is the one we're shooting for the 342.
What was the balance at?
Balance is, so 365.3 on the weight, 32.0 on the balance.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Now, if we can get this one, whoops. Hold your breath.
Don't breathe.
Come on, 342.
344 work.
346.
Hey,
Let's do it again.
we'll take that, though.
That's about as close as we're
I
going to
will
get.
take that.
We're going to do it again. It'll come out the same, but let's make sure I'm in here straight.
Let's do it on the back way, just like how
just how they do it in the video.
the video does it. Straight up, like a boom. Yes. 347. We'll take the 346.
Okay, so that's right in there.
It's right in there.
Yeah, you can.
We take that any
Right.
day. All right, so we know just from taking numbers so many times, Dan has it ingrained and in his head what the numbers are, and they are the top numbers. Okay.
365 on the weight, 31.8 on the balance, and 342 on the swing weight. And that's the Fed racket in the case right there.
Mm-hmm. And mine's that we redid about a year and a half, 2 years ago, is the same, except the swing weight came out to about 351, which actually felt really good. I mean, obviously I can't take Fed's racket out and try it, but I'm sure it feels just like this one. The one that we recreated for Chad came out to...
So 365.3 on the weight, so dead on the money. 32.0 on the balance, which is as close as you can get, and 346 on the swing weight, which you wouldn't be able to feel the difference of 4 points in swing weight. Looking at these numbers, and I actually did my Fed autograph racket just like this one. The stencil, the string savers, the power pads, the faux autograph, the whole thing. And I went out and played with it, and it is phenomenal. The power you can get out of this much swing weight, you would think you couldn't swing it because of that weight, but it's not the case. It's well balanced. It works really well, and when you connect with that ball, it's gonna take off like a bat out of hell. It's controlled power. It's a nice string, and a lot of fun to play with. So anyone that's never tried one of these is curious. It's fun. Now I wouldn't take a light racket out and hit, and then pull one of these out. That would feel heavy. You pull this out and start playing with it. You could play 3 sets with this all day long.
Yeah. You know, in baseball, you got that donut on your bat. That's like the donut on your bat.
Yeah, but it works.
So the thing about the racket is, from what Dan just talked about, this is 12 points head light before the strings, which means it's going to wield a lot of swing speed because most of the weight's going to be in this handle, and you should be able to maneuver this head straight through. We're basically balancing it out. Fed is actually balancing it back out to counteract all the weight in the handle. Therefore, that plow is definitely been re-entered back into the racket. So that's what we're feeling.
Yeah, when you take the Fed out stock and play with it, because it's heavy, but it's head light, is if you're catching balls up higher on the racket, it's a little hard to get anything off at the top of the racket. And a lot of shots, serves, shots you're reaching out for, they come up high. It gets kind of a little bit dead. When you put that weight back up in the top, it really adds that plushness and power and control off the top of the racket. And I found it much more pleasurable to play with this weight and balance than the way these come stock.
Right. No, I agree. Everybody I've handed the Fed racket to absolutely loves it. And I've recreated this racket, or that racket. This is my 27th time. So 27 people have reached out to me in one way or another to make this. And Chad is my 27th. So Chad, this is on its way back to you. Enjoy, my friend. Dan, thank you so much for joining me in the video and helping recreate Roger's racket. We're going to need a little help getting Roger sober now.
Yeah. We'll have to put another overgrip over that to hide it.
More coffee.
When he comes in, he'll go,
Wait, we got to get a blank check and then give him some coffee.
Yeah. So don't try this at home. We're just doing this for illustrative purposes only.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, Chad, we're going to take his signature off because it ain't going to be worth nothing. All right. Guys, thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis.
What happened to the tennis shop? What am I gonna do now?
Need a string job? Need a string job today? What if your stringer can come to you? All you have to do is launch your app at Direct Tennis, call out the stringer, your stringer can come pick it up from you, or you could take it there. They're in your neighborhood. It's as simple and as easy as that.
That was easy.
Find your stringer today at directtennis.online.
Wow. Thank you.